Is it bad to film the kids? A little bit.
No, I like it.
It's all about how to write a joke. So do you have any advice?
Be extremely offensive.
I am super excited because today I'm actually doing an open mic on a boat. And I'm thinking tonight that I'm gonna actually do a brand new joke. So I thought I might go through kind of the process that it takes to actually write a joke. Now this is my own process. I have no idea what other people do, when they're writing jokes, but this is how it happens for me. The first thing that I do is I just watch and observe. I always have kind of like my eyes and ears open for something that could potentially be funny. Now, I don't want you to freak out, or I don't want my friends to think that I'm like constantly watching them to develop a new joke. That's not really how it works. It's like something interesting might happen, and then you'll have this sort of like moment where you're like, that would be funny if. And that's sort of usually where my jokes start. Now, one thing that is really funny that I think happens to a lot of comedians is that you'll be out and about and someone will tell you a funny story, and then they're like, you can totally use that in your comedy sketches. When you're telling the comedy, you can just use that in that. It's not how it works, actually, like not at all. Like telling a funny story can be made into stand-up, but not always. It's a very different thing. So the other day, I was taking the train to another show, and I saw this really cute / ugly dog. But his owner, who was charging him around on the train, had a tattoo of this very dog on his arm. Now, this in itself is a little bit funny to tell someone. It's kind of a strange thing, right? But I'm trying to make it a little bit funnier. So what I plan to do is try to amplify this a little bit to actually make it like laugh out loud funny. Okay, so usually what I would do then is I would take this story, I would tell it kind of as is, right? So automatically you have kind of a funny premise. But then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna compare how people who are in relationships get tattoos of each other's like faces or names, and then they break up, and then they have to explain their tattoo to their next partner. And I'm gonna kind of like flip it and pretend that because this guy has a tattoo of his dog on his arm, he's gonna then have to explain to his next dog who that dog actually is. Now, I don't know how exactly I'm gonna make this like punchy and funny, but I do think it's a funny concept to imagine like breaking up with a dog. What would you say in order to actually break up with this dog? And it kind of flows like that. Usually I'll think of something and then I'll talk to somebody about it, and then we'll kind of like spitball with each other a little bit, come up with a few potential little funny tags, funny punchlines, and then I'll sit down and I'll actually like write it out. Worked out how I'm gonna try this joke for the first time. It's never amazing the first time, but hopefully you can find out if you're on the right track just based on people's general reactions. So let's see how it goes. I'm feeling nervous. I decided to drive myself to this open mic because I'm tired and I deserve it. It's just a car sharing service, so it's actually not that expensive, but it's like I always have to like really rev myself up before I like commit to renting a car because it's like seems so luxurious. to the boat. I originally thought maybe it would actually be a boat that's like going around Berlin, but it's a docked boat, and it's just not quite as cool, you know?
Hey guys, welcome back to Feasting with Friends, where we'll be eating a full ham.
This week's vlog, you guys, is all about how to write jokes.
Yeah.
It's funny that we're talking about that right now, isn't it?
Or why to write jokes.
Yeah. I've been talking about how I write jokes, but how do you guys come up with, like, how would you come up with a joke idea? Like, what's your process?
I go on the Wikipedia page and I copy paste it.
Does something like funny happen to you, or do you think of something usually that's kind of funny and then you
No, life is serious. Don't joke around when it comes to life.
True.
I think for me it's like either funny things that happen or actually serious things that happen that make me very, very sad, and then I find a way to make fun about
It's a crazy world we live in, isn't it? I was on my way. I was taking the U-Bahn here to this comedy gig, and I saw this little dog on the train. It was so cute, you know, one of those smashed-in faces, you know, the ones you want to, you know, that kind. And he was on the train, of course, with his owner, with this gentleman. And I thought, oh, that's nice. You know, he likes his dog. He was being all cute. And then I noticed that this gentleman, he had a portrait of his dog tattooed right there on his arm. Yeah. Tattooed on his arm. Yeah. And I thought, well, that's a little weird, right? You know, and a little awkward, honestly. How exactly are you planning on telling your new dog once you have to break up with your old dog? Right? I totally fucked that up, but you get where I'm going. You know, like, I'm just imagining, you know, the new dog is going to need an explanation, right? Who's this sexy dog on your arm, right? Where did she come from, right? And you know, he's gonna use all the classic lines, you know, oh, she didn't mean anything to me, you know, she was a real bitch, right? You know, he's like, you know, like, I was just with her for the sex, you know. Woo! All right, that's all for me. You guys were wonderful. Thank you.
All right, I'm now on my way home. So the joke, as you can see, went okay. I kind of screwed up the premise of it, or the first line of it, which is always a very key component, but the audience was really great and they were really like just sort of up for anything. So I'm definitely gonna try it again because I really, really like the premise of it. It's so stupid, but so good. Anyway, good day and good night. Thank you and good night. This is Chris. This is Chris's show that we're at right now.
He's sporting his especially pale new dad face today.
Oh, a new father.
Rocking the dad bod as well. I want you to
Happy
notice.
Father's
Did
Day.
you know it's not dad bod, it's leadership belly?
Oh, is it?
That's what another white male told me.
Well, the reality, it really is a dirty bod.
You know white males write Wikipedia, so they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's true.